All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adam Schmid, and as a two-time AmeriCorps and Vista alum, I love seeing the names, locations, and programs in the chat and seeing everyone being able to represent their group. It's great to have you all here. At Serve Washington, I support administration of the Washington Climate Corps Network, but today I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker. Ryan Mello was born in Kailua, Hawaii, and moved to Tacoma in 1997 to attend the University of Puget Sound, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Politics and Government. After his studies, Ryan fell in love with Tacoma through his service as an AmeriCorps volunteer. Ryan served for 2 years at the Youth United program at the United Way of Pierce County, where he designed ways for young people to cultivate a lifelong ethic of giving back to the community through service. Ryan has carried these values throughout his career, as he has served on the Tacoma City Council, the Metro Parks Tacoma Board of Commissioners, and led the Pierce Conservation District. Now, Ryan serves as the chair of the Pierce County Council, representing the county's 4th district, which includes the communities of downtown Tacoma, Hilltop, Central and South Tacoma, Port, and the cities of Fircrest and University Place. Ryan and his partner live in the theater district of Tacoma, and they enjoy hiking, supporting their local sports teams and art scenes, and continuing in local community service. With that said, now please put your digital hands together as we welcome to the Zoom stage our keynote speaker, Mr. Ryan Mello.
Thank you, Adam. Good afternoon, everyone. It is really good to see everybody. I want to first start out with congratulations for everyone for starting your service, especially if you're a first year, and a deep amount of gratitude for everyone returning for a second or third year. As Adam said, my name is Ryan Mello. I use he, him, his pronouns. I serve as chair of the Pierce County Council. And 23 years ago, in September of 2001, I was right where you are at, beginning my first term of the AmeriCorps program right here in Washington State, actually in Parkland, Washington, and doing my service throughout Pierce County. My home site was the United Way of Pierce County. I saw a bunch of United Way folks in the roll call of programs, so I have a huge love for United Way throughout our state and our country. So big shout out to our United Way members. My program was a lot like the Imagine Justice program. So another big shout out to Imagine Justice. I don't have any favorites, but I know and love our Imagine Justice program here in Tacoma, Pierce County. My program was very similar to theirs. It's a larger cohort team environment that fanned out to many different community-based organizations in Pierce County to do service in lots of different sectors. My team was very similar. And then my actual service every day was at the United Way of Pierce County. So again, 23 years ago, I was sitting where you're at right now. And I just recall what a life-changing experience my AmeriCorps program is, and I'm so excited for everybody who's starting or continuing your AmeriCorps program this fall. So I want to first share that I truly loved my program and my domestic Peace Corps service so much that, like many of you, I decided to do 2 terms. I'm told that about 60 of you are beginning to serve your 3rd term. That is absolutely amazing that about 60 of you are seeing how vitally important your service is to your local community and what an impact you are having in your community, that you've decided to commit another year of your life to serving your community. Huge congratulations to our 3rd term returning members, but truly, truly all of you. My hats off to all of you for giving the sacrifice that you're making, right? I was in your shoes 23 years ago. The stipend is still very modest, but the stipend isn't as good as it is today. You know, many of us have worked to try to increase those stipends, to try to make it just a little bit a little bit more bearable but right, this is a huge sacrifice that you're making for your own livelihoods, for your own quality of life, in order to give your life of service for a year or two or three. And that is just really, really commendable and profound. So, you might not know it, but what you're beginning in your service will truly be life-changing. You have so many exciting milestones ahead of you that you really can't fathom. I know, looking back now, 23 years later, I know that my service in my AmeriCorps program really was the defining milestone in my life, that fork in the road, if you will, that really allowed me to better get to know Pierce County, get to know the people of Pierce County, the many places, the school districts I got to work with, the community-based organizations I got to work with. It's really because of my service at AmeriCorps and all of those experiences, which is why I chose to stay in Tacoma and Pierce County, make this my life. My partner and I have chosen to make this our forever home, and where I've deepened my service now through public service, through elected service. And I absolutely attribute my time in AmeriCorps to grounding me in this community, falling in love with this community, and allowing me to really build deep roots here and relationships here, and making this my forever home. So, whether it is that you go on to whatever, right, be in business or be a teacher or a firefighter or run for elective office, whatever it is you choose to do after your service, and whether you choose to stay in the community you're serving in now or move to a community, I am beyond certain that the friendships you're going to make, the experiences you're going to have, and the things you're going to be able to do are going to absolutely influence how you go about living your life. And you're going to be much better off, you personally, and the hundreds of people you're going to serve and the lives you're going to touch over the next 10 months or so. So a deep amount of gratitude, a huge amount of congratulations for you starting this really exciting part of your life. Look, in my service, I met people who I'm still good friends with. I still have folks who I met in my service who are actually coworkers today, coworkers in community. They work in a different agency, but I still get to work with them, and I met them 23 years ago as a part of my AmeriCorps program. I built relationships for a lifetime. I treasure those relationships. AmeriCorps gave me the opportunity to build those relationships. And I'm confident that if you let it happen, you too will build personal and professional relationships that will serve you so well for a lifetime. Look, there's about 500 of you beginning your service today throughout the state of Washington. I gave a shout out earlier to a home team here in Imagine Justice, who I've been able to work with on projects. I know there's other folks working in the South Sound. I look forward to meeting with you personally. I really do. So I hope I get an invite from anyone who's doing service in the Pierce County. I'd love to come visit your site. I'd love to come see what you're doing and lift up your work and celebrate your work with you. Um, uh, I also have a great love. I don't mean to be choosing favorites. I might get in trouble for this later. Seriously, everyone's service is really impactful. I just also want to give a shout out to the Washington Conservation Corps teams and folks doing conservation work. I see some crying emojis. Please don't be upset. We really, I'm joking. I know you're joking too. But the Conservation Corps team members, look, I have such a love for conservation as well. I've spent a bunch of my professional life working in conservation. For 10 years, I led the local conservation district, and we worked with AmeriCorps team members to protect habitat for people, for fish and wildlife, to improve water quality and tree canopy in our cities, and make park access more equitable for all communities, especially our racially diverse communities and lower income communities. So, all of you are going to have such varied and valued experiences. And I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the communities and AmeriCorps teams that I have a personal um, uh, relationship with or have done work with. So thanks for letting me give you a shout out. But all of you, whether you're working in healthcare or serving our veterans or our seniors or bringing food security to more people or teaching or um, helping to make our communities more resilient in the face of climate change, doing behavioral health work. I love the AmeriCorps program because of just the variety of programs that are out there for you to learn, what's out there for you to do, right? What's next in your life. It's a great opportunity to learn more about yourself, more about your community, more about what future professional lives might be, and just an amazing, joyful year. It's going to be a hard year. It's a year of sacrifice, but it's also just a tremendously joyful year to reflect and give back to your community in a way that really you probably won't have another opportunity in your life to do. So this year will be full of sacrifice, right? The stipend isn't much. Many of you are being co-housed with folks you've never met before, maybe still living at home or with other friends and family. You're making lots of sacrifices in order to give of your skills and passion and time to your community. And it's going to be sacrificing just everything you got, right? It's going to be challenging. You're going to have lots of challenges that you're facing as you deliver your program. You know, former President Barack Obama has said numerous times, if it were already easy, it would already been done. And so what you're doing is challenging, because if the issues that you were working on were already solved, they would already been done. So you're going to learn. Your year is going to be full of excitement. It's going to be full of growth. It's going to be full of fulfillment. I absolutely promise you, you're going to feel all of those feels. So, in my service, I learned that the power of community organizing and asking people to do something is so powerful. So really much of my work at the United Way of Pierce County, as was said in my introduction, was leading the Youth United program at the United Way of Pierce County. Basically, I was a community organizer. I was working with middle school and high school students as a community organizer to organize them to figure out ways that were interesting to them to better their community and to get into a lifelong ethic of giving back to our community and to urge them to do something positive for their community. So two things in particular I got to do in this regard at the United Way during my service. One was I got to design and create what we call the Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Day of Caring. This is a day of service of middle school and high school students throughout Pierce County. We had over 1,000 young people doing a day of community service. My day was to organize that day. So I got all the community-based organizations who created work opportunities, community service opportunities, whether they were food banks or homeless shelters or domestic violence shelters or open spaces that needed to be cleaned up or restored or planting trees. Or painting graffiti or whatever, so many different varied experiences. We had over 1,000 young people both years that I got to lead the Youth Day of Caring, and over 50 different work sites. So that was awesome, be able to expose young people to the many different community-based organizations doing work, just like the community-based organizations all of you are working at over the next year. The second major program I got to work on during my AmeriCorps service was leading the design and development of what we call the Letter in Community Service program. So, we wanted to really help young people find their passions and really know that community service is just as impactful and way to connect to the community and to grow and develop as a young person, just as athletics are, right? Just as music is. So many communities, you earn a letter in community service for varsity athletics, right? Well, We designed a program in Pierce County during my AmeriCorps term called the Lettering Community Service Program, and we got all 13 school districts in Pierce County to participate and got high school students from all 13 school districts to earn letters in community service. It was so much fun to be able to design that program and deploy that program with school superintendents, teachers, and young people. It was designed by young people along with me and deployed with young people. And to this day in Pierce County, every year, literally hundreds of young people earn their varsity letter in community service, and they get to use that not only in their applications for college or work, but they get to, and their AmeriCorps program, things like that. But they also have learned such great skills around commitment and discipline and deepen their knowledge and love for their respective communities. So those are two of the things that I got to do. They're so impactful. They're both living on to today, 23 years later. So I can't wait to see the kinds of programs that you design from the beginning or take to the next level, or the things that you get to polish and improve because you are there giving the energy and commitment to doing them, just like I got to do 23 years ago. Look, my experience in service really exposed me to truly how special our community is and how many different job opportunities there are in fields that really excite me. Um, Fields of work that made me feel like I truly was making a difference in people's lives, right? Not just pushing paper around, not just building widgets or, and that's why I actually decided to do the AmeriCorps program to begin with. Honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life out of college. I didn't want to, I was being recruited to be a salesperson to sell beer or wine or cell phones or things like that. Yeah, could I have made a lot more money right out of college being a salesperson at some Fortune 500 company? Yeah, probably. But that didn't excite me. And I knew I wanted to do something that made other people's lives better, but I didn't quite grasp exactly how to do that yet. My time at the AmeriCorps program showed me the many pathways, the many different fields, the many different career paths that were ahead of me that could allow me to wake up in the morning and say, wow, I'm really making a difference. I'm really helping that person sleep better, be better, have just a little less stress in their life, or help solve a problem and make someone else's life better. I'm so glad I found the AmeriCorps program because it put me on the trajectory of public service that I'm so fortunate to be on today. I continue to serve as a policymaker in our community because I love the impact of addressing challenges at a systems level or a policy level, right? When I get concerned about why people are hungry or why there's too many people sleeping on the street, or why we have too many young people inflicted with gun violence, right? These are the things that keep me up at night. These are the things that I want to continue to work on at a systems level or policy level so that more people have a roof over their head in a safe and loving home. Less people are sleeping on the street. Less people are afflicted by behavioral health crises or substance use disorders, and less people are suffering from gun violence. These are the things that wake me up in the morning, and I got these values and exposed to the ways of making life better because of AmeriCorps. And to help people by fixing something, by changing a law or investing in an organization or service that will assist thousands of people at a time. That's what I love. That's what I want to continue working on. And again, I got those values really honed in for me by the AmeriCorps program. Look, everyone, I want to leave you with three things. I want to challenge you this year to do three things. The first is I want to challenge you to take advantage of every moment to do something new. The AmeriCorps program is going to afford you so many new experiences, whether it's trainings training in so many different ways, learning how to develop new skills, um, how to use tools in the field or build different skills as part of your cohort, communication skills, um, teaching skills, being more empathetic to others. You're gonna have the opportunity to be exposed to so many new things. I'm confident that many of you and part of big teams are going to be able to do a day of service at one of your peers' sites for a day, or take advantage of so many different training opportunities that I know the AmeriCorps program offers all AmeriCorps programs to support you in whatever your transition is next. I challenge you to take advantage of every moment that you have in front of you over the next 10 or so months to do something new. It's when you push yourself and expose yourself to new things. Some things may be very comfortable to you, some things may be uncomfortable to you. It's those uncomfortable things and those new experiences and new environments that really allow yourself to grow. That's going to be really impactful for you for the long term. So take advantage of every moment to do something new. The second thing I want to challenge you to do is to give your work site and your clients your very all, right? You have the next 10 months to give it absolutely your all. You could be doing anything else in your life for the next 10 months, probably making a lot more money. You've decided to give the next 10 months to your community, to invest in your community and make other people's lives better. So give your work site and your clients your all. Show up on time. Stay to the end. Show up positively with a great attitude, with an open mind and an open heart every single day, especially in the most challenging moments. Do what you need to do to give your experience your all. Not only will it make your time better spent and make your experience better for yourself, but it'll truly make your service better for the gifts you are giving to the many people you're going to be interacting with and serving over the next 10 months. And finally, my last challenge to you is to celebrate your service. You are giving a huge, huge gift to your community, to your country, and to yourself. You're making a huge sacrifice. And I just encourage you to celebrate your service. Use that stipend you're going to earn at the end of your service. Celebrate it to better yourself or pay off those student loans. Celebrate your service by talking about it at every turn, at every future job interview and future endeavor that you are pursuing. People love, I still today, 23 years later, talk about my AmeriCorps service. You can see it actually if you look at, almost every time I get introduced at an event or when I'm running for office or what have you, I lead with my AmeriCorps service because I am so proud of it. And I hope you are too. And I hope you talk about it for the rest of your life and celebrate your service because it is worth celebrating. It is so amazing that you are giving this sacrifice to better your community, your country, and yourself. So with that, everyone, huge amount of congratulations. I'm so glad we get to kick this off with you. I wish you nothing but the best. It's going to be a challenging year, but it's going to be a great year. Congratulations, and I can't wait to hear from so many of you about your experiences this year. Have a great one, everybody.